For the ruffles that we're going to place on the Scarfinator base, we are going to be using macro to cut out the shape of the ruffle, and I'll be using this Alice band to get the curve this way, and I'll be using my measuring tape as well. I'll also be needing chalk. So this is it now. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place my Alice band on it this way. Okay, so first I'm going to rule a curve with the Alice band. Okay, and this is it. So I'm going to remove it. I'm done with this. So now I'll take my measuring tape. And starting from this end, I'm going to mark out 1 inch, and I'll come here very close, mark out 1 inch. Okay, or better still, I may come here and mark out 1.5 inch. Okay, so this point will be 2 inches. All right, so when I come here, this is the midpoint. Now the midpoint will be 3 inches. You may want to make yours 2.5. I don't know if you get. You may want to make yours 2.5, but I'm using 3 inches. So now I'll just repeat what I did here to this part, to this one. So this is it. Now I'm going to join. So I'll join them together. I'll rule a straight curve. Okay, so I'm going to join. All right. Okay, so this is my curve. I'm going to still work on it, like I want to make it. Okay, so this is it now. I'm going to take my scissors now to trim this hat. So I'll start from here, and I'll trim to the other side. Okay, so now I have this, but I'll still fold this into 2 equal half. I want it to be uniform, so I'm going to trim it again. And this is it. So lastly, I'm going to trim this one as well. I'm going to trim, and this is it. Can you see now? This is the back. Okay, so we don't need this. All right, so this is it. We are going to be needing 2 of this, so all you need to do is to place this pattern on another macro and rule out the shape, but the other one you are cutting should be bigger than this. So you are going to increase the size here by ½ inch or thereabout, because this is going to be at the back while this will be at the front. We want to double it when we are done. So this one, for this that is going to be at the back, what you need to do is this. I'll take my gum. This is my wool gum of B7000. I'm going to apply my gum. After applying my gum, I will then use the gum. I will cover it with the fabric. I'll cut out the excesses, and then I'll fold it to the back. Then for this, we are going to be placing our ruffle for this. This is going to be for the front. So to make the ruffle, we'll be needing a piece of fabric, a round shape object, and a pen. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to place the round shape object on the fabric, and then I'll rule to get the round shape, and I'll cut that. And after cutting that, I will have this. So I need more of this to make my ruffles. I'll be needing about 30, 35 or 40. Okay, so I'll be using my needle and my thread. This is it. I'm going to turn the fabric to the wrong side this way, and I'll be using my needle and my thread to make a running stitches at the edge this way. Okay, so after making the running stitches, as you can see, this is it. So now I'm going to pull it, and this is it. So I'll pull it hard, and then I'll tie here, and this is it. So now I'm going to take this back, and I'll tie the back. And I will use same procedure to get as much as I want. So these are my petals I'll be using for my ruffles. Then I want to show something before I continue. This is a full, this is going to be a round or a full ruffle, but if you want to make it half or one-sided ruffle, it means you are going to curve one part this way, then you cut it out. You are just going to be using one part, just curve it using your scissors. You can roll a line and then you curve it depending on the side you want to use. I hope you get that. That's if you want to make it half. I've seen so many designs like that, like half, but I want mine to be full. Then for the ruffle, once more, for this ruffle you are seeing here, I used a doll face satin. I use a doll face satin, and the the round shape object I use here is bigger than this, so it's going to give us the effect this is going to give us is going to be a bit different from this. The reason is because this I use a bigger round shape object, and there's a way I cover the ruffle. This is it. You can see the way I place the ruffle. So I try as much as possible to cover this point. Can you see? So this middle, this round middle is not too visible here. So when I was placing my ruffle, I covered it, so you can see how it looks. But this is going to give us a just a slight difference because of the way I'm going to place the ruffle. So this is it now. So I'm going to start by attaching my ruffle one after the other. I'll be attaching my ruffle one after the other. I don't want to close this midpoint. I want it this way. This is it. Okay, so now I've started placing my ruffle. Can you see? I'll place it this way, tack it down from the back. When I'm done, I'll place it this way, and then I'll keep tacking. So as it keeps progressing, I will increase the number of petals in each line. So this is going to be 3 instead of 2. And I'm almost done with my ruffles. Can you see? So this is it. I've placed it on the marco, attached it to the marco, and I want to repeat this one more time. I think the video did not capture it very well the first time I illustrate it. So this is it now, just folding. So I'll keep folding and I will run my stitches to the other end of the fabric. And this is it after running my stitches. Can you see? So now I'm going to pull. And this is it, and then I'll tie, and this is it. This is how it looks. So now I'm going to take it to my work, and I'll use my needle and my thread to tack it down. And I'm done with the ruffles. This is it. This is what I will have. So for this other one, I told us the other time, apply your gum to the back, then you gum it. At this point now, I'll still apply my gum here. I trim up the excess. I'm going to apply my gum here and fold it in. Okay, so this is it. So if you want your ruffles to appear both front and back, you don't need to cover this with fabric. It means that you have to I'm trying to notch this part now because I'll need to, okay, to enable me folding properly. Okay, so I was saying that if you want your ruffle to appear on both sides, both front and back, it means that you have to make ruffles for both. And this is it. Okay, this is it. So the ruffle is just going to be at the front. If you want it to appear on the back, it means you have to place ruffle on this one, and you don't need to cover it up with fabric this way. Okay, so this is it now. The next thing I'll do is to take my gum. This is my gum. You may want to use your hot glue gum so that it will stay in place. This is part of the finishing. So I apply my gum on both surface, and then after I'll place it on it this way and gum it down properly. Okay, so we're going to be placing an elastic band on the ruffle to make it detachable, because I'm not going to stitch it down to the Scarfinator base, and you'll be needing your fabric and this elastic I have here. And the measurement for the fabric is 2.5 inches. From this point to this point is 2.5 inches, while the length is 30 inches. So I'm going to fold into 2 equal half from the wrong side, and then I'm going to stitch it down. After stitching, I'm going to use my scissors to turn it to the right side, and once that is done, I'm going to cut the elastic band about 10 to 11 inches long, and then I will insert the elastic band on inside and tie on both ends. Okay, so this is it, and at this point I'm going to come here. I will open this uh part, and I'll use my needle and my thread to secure this band here, and I will repeat that for this one as well. And this is it. I'm done making my ruffles. As you can see, I'm done. This is it. I'll attach the handle. So what you do is this: you wear your cap first on your client's head or on your dummy head, and then after you wear this on top of the base. Okay, so I'm going to show us a picture of this after wearing it on a manicure head. Okay, so for this particular one, i I told us that this the ruffles here are much, and they are closely packed to each other. As you can see, they are much, so it's bulky, unlike this one that is loose. I just separated them so you can see the difference. This one was made with doll face, and this was made with shiny face bridal satin. That will be all for this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get a notification whenever we upload new videos. Thank you, and see you in our next tutorial.